wanted to ask you, how old are kids when they start to
There's an
write?
absolutely brilliant novel written by a 4-year-old.
Really?
Little Winky by Horace Azpiazu.
It's cute.
Oh, hardly. Little Winky is a virulent anti-Semite. The story follows his initiation into the Klan, his immersion in the pornographic snuff industry, and his ultimate degradation at the hands of a black ex-convict named Eric Washington Jackson Jones Johnson.
Written by a 4-year-old.
Jefferson.
Wow. Written by a 4-year-old.
Well, Azpiazu killed himself when he was 5.
Why did he kill himself?
I don't know. Why did you?
What?
I said, why would you?
Gonna get worse before it gets better.
So it says a bag with different things in it.
Consciousness is a terrible curse.
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
And I talked about the word groceries for a lot.
Curious about Klarna? We offer smarter shopping. We're actually all about responsible spending. We never want to lend to people that can't pay us back. And we really encourage you to avoid missing payments.
liar! Shut up!
Friendly reminders help
You're
you
a
stay on track.
bald-faced liar.
Auto-pay ensures you never skip a due date.
A
and you can stay.
fucking liar.
And I talked about the word groceries for a lot.
Will egg prices go up this month?
I think we'll hit $20. How many hurricanes do you think we'll have this year? Kalshi lets you legally trade on anything, anywhere.
Now they're just openly investing in hyper-gamblification products in order to squeeze every last dime out of you. Introducing, ladies and gentlemen,
The U.S.
Mr. Jackpot.
We need, the one thing you need steel. You know, you can give up certain products. You can give up pencils.
Videos aren't real.
That's under the China policy. You know, every child can get 37 pencils. They only need 1 or 2. You know, they don't need that many. But you always need steel. You don't need $37 for your daughter. 2 or 3 is nice, but you don't need $37. So we're doing things right.
We're doing things right. We're doing things right.
Tupac.
Because consciousness is a terrible curse.
Today is a gift.
Videos aren't real.
And I talked about the word groceries for a lot.
My favorite TV show in living, Tupac.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes.
I love Venn diagrams. I really do. I love Venn diagrams. It's just something about those 3 circles and the analysis about where there is the intersection, right? Yeah, I see people, you agree with me, right? So I asked my team, I brought props. She puts my face in her hand. She looks at me and she says, oh, look at you. You're prettier than you're on television. Mike, look at her.
And those lips that don't stop, pop like a little machine gun, pop like a little machine gun.
No.
Videos aren't real.
I can imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know? And as always, Wakanda forever.
I grew up understanding the children of the community are the children of the community.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
For minors, do we love minors? I love minors.
Curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled?
I don't know why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
For minors, do we love minors? I love minors.
It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going, why it keeps going, why it keeps going, why it keeps going.
You exist in the context. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
For minors, do we love minors? I love minors.
Videos aren't real.
And then, best rapper alive.
Tupac. He's not alive. I keep doing that.
Tupac.
The riddle of who's lending when everyone's in debt isn't really a riddle at all. It's a mirror. When we ask who's the lender, we're really asking who's in charge of this system and where is it taking us. And the uncomfortable truth is nobody's really in charge. The system has its own logic, its own momentum. We've built something complex and powerful and fragile, and we're all along for the ride.
And I talked about the word groceries for a lot.
He walked out in the gray light and stood, and he saw for a brief moment the absolute truth of the world. The cold, relentless circling of the intestate earth. Darkness implacable. The blind dogs of the sun in their running. The crushing black vacuum of the universe. And somewhere 200 animals trembling like ground foxes in their cover. Borrowed time and borrowed world and borrowed eyes with which to sorrow it.
And lo, for the earth was empty of form, and void, and darkness was all over the face of the deep, and we said, look at that fucker dance.
Welcome to Heat Death of the Universe, a podcast that political commentator Candace Owens has said is gonna haunt you. It is 12:03 in the AM KST, Saturday, December 13th, year of our Lord and the Snake 2025. You're listening to the dulcet, tortured reasoning tones of me, Joshua How Am I Not Myself Mutashio, and as always, broadcasting from the gorgeous concrete embankment shores lining the pristine waters of the Los Angeles River is Tim Farm the Homeless, Buechner. What's up, Dan?
Doing great, doing great. I was hearing so much stuff about everything going on with the farmers getting shafted and everything that's going to happen there. And then also I didn't know about like Tom Morello's guitar, Arm the Homeless or whatever. So I figured, boom, bam, add the two ideas together and we can solve the problem. We don't have farms anymore, but we got plenty of homeless people we need to get rid of, right?
A stance Tom Morello is surely behind as well.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely agree with that. But of course, I'm always happy to be on the only podcast that's willing to ask the question: what if instead of Larry Ellison, he was very gay with men? How you doing tonight, Josh?
I'm doing great. And I'm going to be doing even better after we listen to our call to prayer to kick off the show.
Please God, when I wake up, let me be Chinese.
Final call to prayer.
I'm finna turn Chinese.
All right, now we're ready to go. We're spiritually aligned. Chakras are all mingled together like so many balls at the FIFA Peace Awards. I forgot that's a reminder to grab that as a drop. I totally forgot to do that.
Oh,
that
damn.
Gianni Infantino, did you see that? How his choice of words to Trump to like kind of mix the balls around. He's like, "You must mingle the balls, Mr. President."
It's pretty good.
Johnny the baby cracking jokes.
Explaining to Trump about mixing their balls together or whatever it was.
I think he used the word mingle, which is just like, it's probably what makes it stand out even more.
Pretty good.
If he had just said like move them around maybe, or mix them together or something.
Right.
Jumble them up. But Mr. President, please mingle the balls. I guess speaking of mingling balls.
Yeah.
With no segue whatsoever there. No, as we're wont to do here, we like to be real cheeky and kick off the show with like an anti-climax, like what's a dumb news item that's not important in the grand global scene. And that one today is that In-N-Out, hey, California, Los Angeles River.
Oh, yeah.
The In-N-Out burger chain nixes 67 from ticket system due to 6-7 trend, which
what?
I slightly applaud, as I've explained how annoying it is as a teacher to be bombarded with this 6-7 shit by your annoying as fuck students. Yeah, apparently every time the number would come up, there'd just be some kind of commotion in the restaurant.
Sure.
So
It's so weird to me that this is the meme that so many people are like fucking so upset over. Like this is the one that people are dying over. And I've referenced it multiple times already now, but I don't see how it's any worse than any other fucking memes historically. And even like I've like referenced stuff from like, when we were kids, the same age as the 6-7 kids or whatever. Like, why is this such a fucking problem? It's even like, did you see the terrible Jimmy Fallon, Sydney Sweeney thing? That was like 3 Labubus doing the 6-7 in front of a McDonald's drive-thru or whatever. And it was like, I don't know what the fuck the context is, but it was some segment of the show where like they're playing a video behind her, and maybe it's some kind of charades where he's trying to get her to know what it is without looking. And then once she figures it out, she's like, Sydney Sweeney is like, I can't say that. Like she can't say 6-7. And it's like, why? What's the fucking problem? Why is this the meme that people are like have such a big issue with? I just don't fucking get it. Why does In-N-Out
think-
feel the need to get rid of 6-7? This is like when I was in middle school and they like banned yo-yos. You know what I mean? Like what is the fucking deal with 6-7?
Well, because people are just being fucking annoying and it's played out. And it's like, maybe it was funny for like a minute. I mean, I didn't read the entire thing, I don't think, but there's a fucking ultra serious New York Times article about
Right.
what teenagers are saying about 6-7 and the era of brain rot. I feel like teachers in particular are most annoyed by it. I don't think anyone is saying it's like an immoral thing. It's just like it's causing disruptions in a way that other stupid trends haven't, at least recently, maybe. I don't know.
Is it like that much worse? What it's like when people hear 6-7, they just go 6-7, 6-7, and like, what? That's it, right? Like
kids in my class are just screaming it for like 5 minutes straight, but they're particularly monstrous.
Well, we can't talk about that. Obviously, we have to move on. Moving on.
I also do stand by it being slightly more meaningless as a meme than your average meme, but I see your point that like they all kind of come from like the origins of memes don't really even matter, because like the origin of this one is a fucking song,
right?
And then a song that got like used with a rapper who happened to be 6 feet 7 inches tall,
right?
And then like a dumbass kid who just said the numbers in a goofy way and is become the 6-7 kid, which on the Wikipedia page for this fucking meme has a picture of this kid riding a bike.
That's pretty good.
Looking particularly, I don't know, tismed, we'll say.
Sure.
It says, the caption just says, the 6-7 kid at a fan meetup in Venice Beach, California, 2025.
Hell yeah.
And the fact that he has fan meetups is something
That's so good.
itself.
That's so good. Oh man, I didn't even realize that's like a mini bike.
It is actually. It's not just a regular bike.
Yeah.
He's on like a dirt bike type thing there.
Yeah, he's on like a miniature. It's like a midget not BMX, motocross bike.
Yes. One of the things I was like teaching my students lately, like in science, like one of the facts that just had to keep coming up because it was like on the test or whatever, was how many moons are there for Jupiter? And it's 67. So of course people got real excited. And then later some kids like looked up the real number, and that's like a really outdated number that whoever put together the dumbass science curriculum that I have to teach, like just it's like 95. It's been updated to 95 for like 30 years or something.
Nice.
But anyway.
Nice.
It's a little Jupiter moon knowledge for you there.
On this 6-7 meme Wikipedia, there's also UAE chicken nuggets, 6-7 packs of chicken nuggets. I guess the McDonald's in the UAE are embracing the meme. But the one thing I noticed here is that they have the sauces for there, and it says barbecue McNugget sauce, which is interesting that it like differentiate, like in the UAE McDonald's they like differentiate that this is McNugget sauce, but then it's also got garlic mayonnaise sauce. Yeah, this is only for McNuggets. But then it's also got one that says garlic mayonnaise sauce, and that's just listed as regular sauce. So that's like that can be used with anything, I guess. But also garlic mayonnaise. UAE is rocking with garlic mayonnaise. All right, I guess.
The contradictions, they make my head spin, I tell you.
True. It's true. I hope that the thing about the McDonald's 6-7 piece meal is that it's like it's either 6 or 7. You're not sure. Like you're either gonna get 6 or 7. They're not. You just. I would think that would be better, but I don't think it is. I think it's
you just said like lit up associations in my brain to two other things we're going to talk about. One is something else about McDonald's, and the other is that if that were the case, that would be a form of gambling, which may just come to pass at some point once, when we look at some of the weird forms of gambling that I have down the list here. But did you hear about this particularly bad McDonald's AI ad?
I didn't see the ad. Should we? I was gonna say, should we watch
It's
it? But
if you really want to, yeah, why not? Why not? Let's do it.
yeah, all right.
I've got no sound, but it doesn't matter. I've seen it before. I know what the song is, so.
All right. I wasn't sure if this was even the right ad.
It is. This is the
All right.
fucking stupid thing. So like
Fun.
my thought about it really was like I was almost expecting it to be worse in a
Yeah,
way. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. It's stupid, but all the hype that I was seeing about how like unbearably awful it was,
Right.
didn't quite live up to it. I mean, it's awful, and it gives me that nauseating feeling that AI, like hyper realistic, this Sora hyper realistic AI video gives me, the uncanny valley turning my stomach type thing.
Right.
And it's McDonald's, and it's like, it's lame. I mean, the most terrible time of the year, whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's trying to appeal to people's
Right.
cynicism about Christmas and like cashing in on even that. I don't know. But the response to it was like maybe more of the interesting part than the ad itself, I guess. Like McDonald's response and the response of the company that they outsourced the ad to. So I've got a little article here. McDonald's issues extremely weird response to its disastrous AI ad.
Oh, sorry. Before we get into the thing, I guess my takeaway from the ad is just that like you were kind of saying that it wasn't that bad, and I think that that's kind of a bad harbinger of things, you know what I mean? Like it's just like a lot of the AI stuff has been pretty easy to look to and just be like this shit sucks or whatever. But that was like passable enough to believe like that it just is an advertisement and like yeah, it sucks, but it sucks just as much as like any McDonald's ad is gonna suck. You know what I mean? And that's kind of
It's
the
like
bad
suck.
part.
Yeah, it's suck plus, I would say.
Right.
Still, there's like the added layer of, oh yeah, and this like whatever angle you want to take on criticizing the AI usage, like putting like creative people out of business,
Right.
whatever. I don't know how many gallons of water that thing took or whatever,
Right. Whatever.
things like
The thing,
that.
yeah, the thing that gets me to like I don't care about like that people don't get to make commercials, right? Like I don't I'm not like super I am in some ways I am like very like worker. I care more about like the idea of automation and AI taking away like tangible jobs as opposed to like creative frou-frou
Entertainment, yeah.
bullshit. Yeah. But also like I'm like obviously fully like, automated luxury space communism pilled or whatever. And I'm like totally fine with the idea that like we could automate away all of the junk jobs, like making a shitty McDonald's ad even. But
Sure.
and like letting everyone have leisure time but the thing it's like you just know that that's not what's gonna happen as like wealth disparity just continues on. It's fucking brutal. Like when you start to look at some of the statistics that especially that they're like presenting now, it's becoming more and more fucking scary and sad to hear. There's just the like 1,000th percentile owns 50% of the wealth of the entire planet or whatever, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, those new numbers were pretty wild. But it also like every time I see the new statistics like that, it's like yes, this is worse than the last ones, but it's such an abstraction that it's like
Right.
you can see how a large number of people would look at that fact and just breeze right past it. Like, yeah, whatever, rich people are rich. What's the problem? It's like,
Yeah. But like my most like optimistic brain looks at something like that and just wants to go like it once it gets so I'm not gonna be able to say this word right now. And but you know the thing.
We
I'm
know the
Bidening.
thing.
I'm going Biden mode. once you get to a certain level, this is a stand-up joke that I can't even remember, you know what I mean? Or it's reminiscent of a stand-up joke that I can't remember. But it's like once we get to the point where it's just like, one dude, it's like it'll be pretty easy for like everybody, all of the masses to be like, let's just go get Jeff. We need to just go get that guy. You know what I mean? Like once it's to that
Yeah.
point where as it gets smaller, because when it's like, oh, it's like, a couple thousand people who have all the wealth. It's like, can't do much about that. But once you get to the point where it's like, okay, it's a handful of guys and they've got all the money, it's like, well, shit, I mean, we could take care of that. There's enough of us. One guy can only have so much security. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean that is like sadly almost the most optimistic way you can look at this trajectory, because in reality it's just like be such a slow gradual ride to that point where you know people who are like really suffering the most are going to be like, I don't have time to overthrow anything, and then you still have like, I don't know, enough the boat dealership class types
Sure.
out there who are like comfortable
I am
enough.
that guy. No, the problem is not even that they're comfortable. It's that they're stupid enough to think that they think they are that guy. They go, I
They
am
think
that
that
guy. I'm the billionaire. Even though they're just, like you said, they're like a guy who has a boat dealership or whatever. He's a thousandaire. And he's like, actually, I'm Jeff Bezos. That's me. I'm him.
Yeah. This McDonald's bullshit. There's just a couple quotes here that are worth reading, I guess. And also, the company that made this for McDonald's is called the Sweet Shop, which I keep reading as the Sweatshop.
Sure.
I think that's no coincidence.
That makes sense. Except for computers don't sweat, Josh. So checkmate on that one.
Ah, shit. Yeah, the Sweet Shop, the agency and production company behind the turd of an ad, have since tried to scrub it from the net, along with a bizarrely defensive statement by Sweet Shop CEO, which is now unavailable.
Nice.
So, but I'm confused by that because it says now unavailable, and then it's followed by a statement. So maybe this is a different statement. I mean, anyway, whatever. This person said, for 7 weeks, we hardly slept, with up to 10 of our in-house AI and post specialists in the gardening club, which is what they call their in-house AI engine, working in lockstep with the directors. I know they also said at some other point, I'm not seeing it here though, that they were like, AI didn't make this, like we did. Like the team is really proud of this.
Yeah, this was
this
all
middling
hands.
at best crap.
Right.
The commercial was produced for McDonald's Netherlands. See, that actually makes it feel like it makes more sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
But we have decided to remove our AI generated Christmas advert. So like people hated this thing enough to where they threw it in the trash.
Right.
But yeah, it was supposed to be straight to the Netherlands. That does actually make way more sense of the ad, like the vibe of the ad.
Yeah, right.
I suppose they're like, are they trying to appeal to that like the brooding Scandinavian temperament or something?
Right.
I don't know.
It is funny to think about like an old weathered seaman. Not like that. I know what you're thinking. No, a Norwegian boatsman. And also not like the other one we were talking about earlier who thinks he's Jeff Bezos. No, a guy who, he fishes for a living. How do I say that? And he's just like all grizzled and bitter and he doesn't show much emotion and he just sees that and gets a bit of a chuckle and it's just like, haha, that's good. Like that's what it's looking for. Okay, well, all right, cool. But as I said earlier, I mentioned that robots can't sweat. I did also think it was important to conclude with that as well, that
basketballs don't hold grudges.
So. Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Just to preempt any hate mail, I realize I was thinking of Denmark earlier when I kept saying Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
Scandinavian. It doesn't match up, but you get what I'm saying overall.
Sure.
They're all kind of the same.
Whatever. It's it's like the non-ethnic ethnic white, that whole area. It's like you're not like Italian or Spanish to be like ethnic white, but you are like a thing. You're not just like nondescript white, like American, like WASP culture, but it's just lumpen white, I guess. I don't know. You guys know what we're talking about.
It's the Dutch, Danish,
Yeah.
Schrodinger's effect or something.
Right. And what's the weird thing where it's like it's the Netherlands, but they're Dutch, or what is it?
Like people have referred to it as Holland and the
Right.
Netherlands, but then like the people are Dutch.
Yeah.
So it's like this triple confusing thing to outsiders sometimes.
Which is also confusing because then Germany is actually Deutschland, which sounds like they could be like Dutch, like Deutsch and Dutch are like similar. So it's like, oh wait, what the fuck is this? Do because they call them like Deutschlanders, right? Like in actual like German speak. They don't call themselves German.
No, it's yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Deutschlanders, but
probably close.
Deutschland, yes, is the name of the country in German.
All right. You know what? This is going to be a classic Tim Google moment. We're going to see what they call them. What do they call the god
Did Elliot Smith stab himself?
Forsaken German in their own language. Then parentheses, it makes me sick to hear them talk like that. All right. This is not helping. Oh, wait. The term Germans is used. The country is Deutschland. Often the people's land. Yeah, this is not. Oh, my God. No, this is rough. Okay. The Dusick. No, this is old High German word. It's Diustic. It's like Diutisc. And it means of the people. This is not helping. You know what? I probably shouldn't have put all that other bullshit in the search. I would have gotten a better answer if I had just directly asked. But
it wasn't the narrowest search.
No, but I don't care about that. Anyway, yeah, this sucks. Fuck this. God forsake. No, yeah, this is not helping. Anyways, moving on.
I believe the answer is just the people are Deutsch and the place is Deutschland.
That makes sense.
That's the real answer.
That probably makes sense.
I did study German a little bit.
Hey, you know what?
Trillions of years ago.
They're all a bunch of Deutsch bags. Am I right? Did I get them?
Boom.
Boom.
I guess speaking of other people from other countries other than the United States, Australia.
I don't like to. I would rather not speak of them, but I guess we must.
What's going on in Australia? Well, they're banning social media for everyone under 16. I thought it was kind of interesting.
Hold on. Pause. Why are you as an adult male country so concerned with what kids under 16 are doing on their phone? What are you trying to get in there? Why are you trying to see? See, it's questionable to me. I find it a bit sus that they're so interested in what these children are doing.
It does low-key read as pedophilia.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, kids that don't even exist until they're like 27, 28. That's when you're like even a human as far as I'm concerned.
Before that's fair game, abortion-wise.
Don't care. Whatever. They just don't exist as far as I'm concerned. So whatever. They don't even exist. I'm not interested. Has nothing to do with me. Go about your business.
Now, I could have done this before the show, but I didn't.
Why would you?
See what I knew there's like exceptions to this ban that were interesting, but
if it's for work, they can go on social media if it's for their job.
Exceptions are for platforms primarily used for messaging, like WhatsApp, education, such as Google Classroom, and online gaming, so Roblox, Steam, and YouTube Kids. I did hear, I believe, Hassan Parker say that it's ridiculous to allow Roblox, but not like Instagram or whatever, because Roblox is like one of the worst things, which we've mentioned in the past, is like a hub of pedophiles or something, or so I've read in passing.
Right. That delineation and pointing out the difference reminds me of the seminal works of the hip hop group Das Racist when he says, "How come EBT cop hot Cheetos but not hot coffee?" You know, it is that hey, makes you think, right?
Makes you think, yeah.
And you know what? It really goes along with everything that's been going on, because
This is why I call 2025 the year of surprises. Huh?
you know, because you never know what's going to happen.
Oh man, PBD saying that at the beginning of the year was so good.
So good. He was right, though. I mean, he really was right.
You can't say he was wrong.
No.
You cannot say the man was wrong. I would say there were a few surprises this year.
Right.
I mean, what is there to say about this? I mean, apparently there's other countries that are looking into doing stuff like this. I think like the long and short of it is that this is not about protecting the children.
Sure.
Did you see there was like the Rahm Emanuel like crawled out from whatever fucking rock he at least should have been living under, but probably hasn't been, to like deliver some message about this, like how important it is to protect the developing minds of the youth from all these dang apps. And there's basically like two, what I would say are probably the correct lines of thinking about this, which is, one, it's probably related to, in some way, trying to stop kids from seeing all of this gore and mayhem and horror
right
on a daily basis coming out of Gaza. Because for as long as this has been going on, 2+ years now, its most recent iteration of Israel being Israel, TikTok has been like targeted specifically so much as like, well, this is where the kids are getting radicalized against Israel.
Right.
You know, like Hillary Clinton just recently did some public fucking bullshit talk or whatever, where she was like, that's the reason they're chanting "River to the Sea," you know, because they see these fake videos on Instagrams and TikToks. Yeah. So that's a piece of it. And then there's just general, like, I don't know, social control that's like always trying to be enacted at all times.
Right.
So I think that's basically it, because yeah, basically what this means is just, like, people might see this and be like, honestly, when I saw the headline for a second, I was like, oh, for like a split second, I was like, good, maybe that will, like, I don't know, make everything better somehow.
Yeah.
To like just free up some brain space or whatever. Like maybe I could use a similar ban, is basically what I was thinking. But of course, like, obviously kids are going to get around this ban. But the other thing is that all it really does is force everybody else to submit their ID to get online. Or the other thing, which always gets left out of these conversations, and people talk about like internet censorship, is like there's this handy device that you can pay like $10 a month for called a VPN that gets you pretty reliably around like almost all of that shit, as far as I'm concerned. I know in China, where like the internet is like heavily censored, most people just use VPNs to get around it, and it's like a known fact. It's like a known thing that the government doesn't even try to crack down on necessarily.
Yeah, it's like driving your car without your seatbelt on, or not using a condom. Everybody knows that you just don't actually, use that stuff.
But I hear people sometimes be like, like adults like complaining about like, oh, they're trying to censor my internet, and it's like, yeah, that like in principle I agree that's not cool, but you can still you
Right.
can still get your hey Texans out there, you can still watch porn without submitting your driver's license. I did it with the VPN on my phone recently.
Yeah.
It's not hey, actually, I do it all the time because most pornography is censored in South Korea, which people never seem to bring up when they want to like, do the but at what cost China bashing shit. Like it's kind of the same here. But anyway.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you ban social media. It doesn't matter if, like you said, there's an easy workaround. When it comes down to it, there's nothing we're going to be able to do.
But the people are retarded.
There's nothing you can do to fix that. I mean, shit. But yeah, here's the thing. When you said gaming, when you first said like the carve-outs were going to include gaming, because of everything how it is now, my first instant thought was like DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet360, like
kids.
Like they were because the fucking lobbying for fucking gambling is so insane at this point. It feels like it was like, oh, they're gonna like have a carve out so kids can still gamble. Like that's what it's gonna be. But
that'll be a next week's show, I'm sure. By the time next week rolls around, that will have happened. Like Kalashi will be like have firmly entered the Australian Roblox arena, and will be cashing in mightily.
Yeah, no, but here's the other thing. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like. When we were talking about limiting internet use and computer stuff, I'm not gonna take fucking advice from freaking Rahm Emanuel. The guy is named after pirated video games. Like, of course he's got skin in the thing. He's committed. True. And you know what? That's a funny joke, and
it's not racist at all. No.
So, I mean, people like to say what they like to say about my sense of humor, but I can make a good joke that's not, it's not edgy.
I guess, and there might be a brand new drop to help us segue from AI internet stuff to weaponry, the military, things that might sound like machine guns.
Oh, you know what sounds like a machine gun is
those lips that don't stop, up like a little machine gun.
Thank you, President Trump. Yes, we are going to talk about machine guns next. Pete Hegseth announced the other day in his annoying fashion
right.
that I'll just read the fucking tweet. Today we are unleashing GenAI.mil. This platform puts the world's most powerful frontier AI models directly into the hands of every American warrior. We will continue to aggressively field the world's best technology to make our fighting force more lethal than ever before. And all American made. And
okay, this is when I hear that Pete Hegseth is trying to make the fucking military into computer and turning it into fucking... they're trying to turn everything into computer. The only thing that I can think is...
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
That's what I say.
You do every time.
Yeah.
I've seen you get in hold Pete Kegsbreath's face and say that. Yeah. That was a new Pete-ism I heard the other day. I don't know who came up with it, but I've only heard our favorite moderate leftist, Kyle Kalinske, was saying it a bunch.
That's pretty good.
He was saying Pete Kegsbreath, Secretary of War Crimes. Yeah, that's the full title.
That's pretty good. And then now that I know that I could have been calling him Pete Kegsbreath, the only thing I can say is...
Look, yesterday I made a mistake, and guess what?
I pissed.
Because I was not calling him that.
Yeah, this is obviously just very stupid. More like, I mean, this is just like another step in what's been going on for a while now, like integrating AI with the military. But then I clicked on the link to this genai.mil, and it just says, "You have reached this page because you are not authorized to visit genai.mil from outside of Department of War networks. If you believe this is an error, please contact your command's IT service desk. Want to access DOW's latest AI tools? Join today. www.todaysmilitary.com." So I clicked on that. And this is the most like milquetoast, lame ass fucking website. It's just
Oh no.
They're using the word cyber too much. This is just making me think of like 90s use of the term cyber.
Sure.
But yeah, it says be a cyber warrior, be a cyber specialist, join with cybersecurity. And it just made me think of like how much this like, you know, the Kegs Breathian trying to like hyper masculinize or whatever the military again, how it's just so the fucking opposite. And this is just one example. I mean, this is just nerd shit right here.
Right.
But then like, I mean, I guess that ties right into the very next article about the font wars. Did you hear anything about this?
No. But okay, but what I did say was that with the Pete Keg's breath, what I would say about this website, this integrating AI, is that
you're gambling with World War III.
You know, and I just think it's not good.
Oh, the typeface wars. Yeah. I mean, like a perfect example of this failure to be tough and masculine and get the DEI shit out is this a big announced switch. I think Marco Rubio made this announcement, but like
Little
Pete
Marco
Hegseth also had something to say about it. Yeah. Or as I've been known to call him, Marco the Blood Slut Rubio. I mean, essentially, they just, I guess during Biden's term, they, for some reason, changed all the default like font on all the documents to Secretary of State Marco Rubio called the Biden era move to the sans serif typeface wasteful. I thought it was Calibri was the typeface. Hang on.
No, that's that's that betting website we were talking about before.
Anyway, whatever. They say sans serif. Isn't that a typeface itself? Isn't that a font itself?
Probably.
Whatever. Point is, they made a big fucking deal about how the Calibri font is too woke. So they're like going back to Times New Roman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's less gay.
That's
is
true.
I believe what they're trying to say, but actually themselves are still too woke to say. But yeah, somehow he chalks this all up to being a wasteful instance of DEIA, Biden having like changed the font. But it's like, isn't you changing it again the same thing?
Right. Well, when Trump found out that he had changed the font, he asked,
Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, Sleepy Joe?
And he was asleep, and he was letting all of the woke, blue hairs in his cabinet decide what font they were going to use. But not like Trump. He's back and he's excited. He's going to use the big boy font. He picked out the nicest font with the curliest Q's, and that's the one that we're using now, folks. And America is going to respect us more now.
If you ask me, the Trump administration should be using the Comic Sans font.
Oh, yeah, and you know why? Because
a bunch of clowns in Washington.
That's why I call it politics.
That's the real reason.
That's the reason why.
Rubio said, switching to Calibri achieved nothing except the degradation of the department's official correspondence.
God damn.
He noted that Times New Roman had been the department's official typeface for nearly 20 years until the 2023 change. And then the New York Times says before 2004, the State Department used Courier new font. Anyway, what a waste of a ton of fonts.
Right.
I guess,
Oh.
which is this article and everyone talking about it. I guess including myself in a way.
Right. But here's the thing, at least, the politics that are happening here in America, we're talking about, switching all of these fonts, because obviously what we heard about earlier, if we were in Australia, the politics would be more concerned with diddling in fonts. So, get what I'm talking about?
It's the real pedophile islands.
Yep. Not a lot of people talk about that. They say, oh, everybody in Australia only lives on the coasts, right? Oh, they only live on the coasts. What are they hiding in the center there? Why are they telling us not to go check it out? What do you think they're doing? Huh? That's the real question.
I guess just on the subject of AI and hyper militarization as well. I saw this video a little while ago that I just believed was real because why wouldn't I? It looked pretty real. I mean, I kind of doubted it was real in the sense of like, not that it was AI generated, but that like maybe there was something edited that's not showing the full story. But anyway, it was showing an NYPD officer arresting an ICE agent, and in like this very kind of loud performative way of like, you're not going to break the laws of my city and all this shit.
Nice.
And of course I was like, that's good. I mean, fuck the cops as well, of course. But hey, if they're going to arrest these fucking Gestapo agents, like, that's cool. I'm for that. But then I found out that it was completely AI generated, and it was generated by some account they tracked down at factcheck.afp.com, whatever that is, that had generated a bunch of these like pretty realistic looking videos. But yeah, they like pointed out like some tells where it was like the cop goes to like shut the trunk of the car, and the back door opens or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't real, but it just made me think like, usually the stuff that's fake is like not coming from that angle politically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anti-ICE stuff. So it just made me wonder, like, what's the motivation behind this person making all these videos? Is it just like, are they anti-ICE and they're just like putting like wishful thinking out into the world? Or, I mean, honestly, it's probably just to generate revenue from clicks on videos. I'm sure that's all it really is. I guess it's pretty easily explained away, but it made me think for a second. It made me stop and think.
Well, that's important to do.
And it was like kind of a bummer to know that was fake, but also it was like I guess of course it is. This would have been much bigger news probably if that had actually happened, and it could be happening. Is the other thing to, I guess, just remember is that like the police do have jurisdiction in their city, and if an ICE agent is just abducting a person with zero cause, that's a crime. But obviously there's a certain collusion going on, and if it's not collusion, there's just like a hierarchy, there's a fear of reprisal, whatever. I've had the random thought a couple times when I've been like considering what to do with my life about like, well, I could just move back to America and join ICE and take it down from the inside, which makes me kind of laugh to think about the impossibility of it. But just as like a brief thought, it's popped into my head a couple times. And
it's kind of a funny,
That'll be a teaser for my recommendation of the week also, by the way. So think about what that could possibly be.
It's going to be enlisting in ICE.
Yeah.
Go join ICE, folks. Get a signing bonus.
Very straightforward.
Good. It seems good. But one thing that you should have remembered when you saw that video was...
videos aren't real.
So.
True. I always forget the wisdom of one Andy Tate, and it's always a mistake every time.
When he said...
videos aren't real.
No.
All right. I guess to get into like the actual news.
No.
Spent about an hour talking about the what could almost really actually be called fake news, but
I guess
anyway,
the literal fake news, whatever.
Right, AI isn't real. Videos aren't real, as we know.
Right.
The Trump Institute of Peace is hard at work these days, and so there was, I would say, a big news story this week is the stealing of an entire oil tanker by the United States military. Of course, they would call it a lawful seizure of what Trump at least called illegal Iranian oil. And they're just proud of it, and hardly anyone in the, I guess the mainstream media is pushing back on this at all. Hardly anyone in the Democratic Party has anything to say about this, and about the continued ramping up towards a Iraq 2003 style land invasion of Venezuela. No, I mean, like, it's typical, like, Democrat and like liberal media shit where it's just like, well, we like the idea, we like the stealing of the oil tanker, but what about the procedures around it? Is essentially how that's gone so far. But it also reminded me of a story we talked about, I don't know when, a long while back, I think, when I can't even remember if this was under Trump or Biden. It must have been under Trump, when we just stole Maduro's equivalent of the Air Force One, like his official plane. Do you remember that? I'm trying to remember where it was stolen from. I think it was, the Dominican Republic.
Yes. Sorry, I was actually on mute and I was like responding. I apologize for that.
Yeah.
I was like I like vaguely remembered it, but I didn't completely remember it.
Yeah, well, as the BBC says here, Venezuela calls U.S. seizure of plane, quote, brazen theft. What else could you possibly call it? There's like no... Venezuela calls bombing of its fishing vessels murder.
Yeah, whoops.
So-called murder.
Quote, unquote, doing...
But all this also reminded me of the fact that... I had seen this before and just forgot about it. So this is here again, Cardinal Sin the First. This is old news from 9 days ago now. U.S. Institute of Peace renamed for Trump after his administration gutted it earlier this year. That was a good one. That was a good one that slipped by.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to get to all the news every week, folks. And sometimes there's ones that from other weeks that might be worth talking about.
Yeah, they gotta, you gotta bring them back around or whatever. Wait, hold on. What am I talking about? No. They gotta come back. And when it really comes down to it, like, all we have to say is that
this shit ain't nothing to me, man. Haters and shambles, they stay picking the corn out of my shit.
That's how we feel about you.
Yep. So this was announced by the State Department's Twitter account as, "Welcome to the Donald J. Trump Institute of Peace. The best is yet to come." This was 9 days ago. Oh, and they also added, they renamed the institute to reflect the greatest deal maker in our nation's history.
God,
what does that have to do?
Hey, peace is a kind of deal, Peace is, when you think about it, it's a deal where everyone agrees to not kill each other.
I saw a segment of Jake Fapper, who I loathe for so many reasons. I guess number one being his stance on Israel, his Zionism, but he did do a decent newsman job of piece by piece destroying each claim that Trump has made, that he's ended 8, 9, some say 10, 11 wars.
Yeah.
How the number just keeps changing when he says it, and when his bootlickers say it as well. Like, he's ended like 35 wars now, says Lindsey Graham, our Lady G.
I'm really upset that you started at 8, for the numbers. But I get it. I know. But yeah, it's definitely, yeah.
Hey, why
It's
does
definitely-
seven fear six?
I don't know why.
Because six.
Because 6, 8, 7. No, wait. What the fuck?
That's wrong.
600%, 700%.
That's what the,
How does that
that's what
joke
these
go?
damn kids think now because they're on the internet all the time. They don't know. They get fucking. They don't even know how to count anymore because they're too busy, doing their playing Roblox or whatever.
I've just proved to you that the 6-7 meme is literal brain rot.
Yeah,
It
right.
made me say that.
It made you forget how to count, even though
It
like
made me forget number jokes.
yeah, even though like it kind of works because 6, 7 is just like it's 6 and then 7, like that's how you count. It's like the most basic just counting thing or whatever. Very
Wait,
weird.
hang on.
800%. Nobody's ever heard of it before.
The joke was right. I just didn't do the punchline correctly.
Sure.
700%.
6 fear 7. I'm gonna figure this out. 6 fear 7 because 7, 8, 9. That's what it is.
500%, 600%,
Right.
700%.
Got it. Got it.
They nailed it.
Nobody's ever heard of it before.
Now it's
What a mystery. How much of that is going to stay in the final product of this podcast
hopefully
episode?
a lot of it. Now, I do have to say that I did enjoy Jake Fapper, but if I can just give you a note, I think if you bet, I think a better name for him is Wake Napper. And it's because he doesn't respect that someone died. He just falls asleep at their wake because he's a real piece of shit,
That would also be a good nickname just for Joe Biden, but it
True.
doesn't. There's no wordplay there, but still.
Right, well. You know what?
Where were
Hey,
we?
You don't need to be talking about that I still consider him my president, so.
Come on, man.
He's been quiet lately.
He's been dead for like 6 years. Like, yes, of course he's been quiet.
Oh, so back to stealing the oil tanker thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
I was just gonna say, like, we stole his plane. This is just like the natural amplification. You gotta use more to get that fix, type of thing.
Right.
But then Trump is like really feeling himself on all this shit, so he's like sitting there at some press thing. It is funny to just think about how much more press events shit Trump does than the previous 4 years with Biden. So much would really like add up the numbers, the sheer minutes of it all. And the thing is he's just as brain dead, just in a different kind of way.
Right.
And his handlers, he doesn't have handlers, essentially, it seems like.
He's uncontrollable.
You can't stop him. But he's sitting there, and so he's like, yeah, we took it. And they're like, well, what are you going to do with it? He's like, probably keep it.
What do you do with things that you take? It's ours.
It's our oil now.
Oh.
And the ship, too, in fact. He's just like shrugging his shoulders and that try to act real nonchalant about it. Because he also is, although he is feeling like he's done something very cool as well. And then so he just started leaning into other leaders of South American nations like Gustavo Petro, who he
which his name it's right there.
Basically told to yes. Told him to watch his back. Or no, what did he say exactly? He said you're next. He's like, I hope he's listening. You're next. He's like, Colombia too, a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
You're next. So yes, it's just I guess more of the same in this region of the world, and it's very bad. I don't like any of it. There also was a right-wing coup in Bolivia. Shockingly, that hasn't happened dozens of times in recent memory. where a left-wing president was, and sorry, I actually don't know his name off the top of my head, was just thrown in jail, basically, and yeah, the right is seized control again in Bolivia. Seems like it may be a continuing trend. I mean, as it has been for, I don't know what now, 100 years at least.
Right.
Probably. At least since like Guatemala in like the 50s. There's earlier examples, of course, as well. I guess what I'm saying is just read the Jakarta Method if you haven't yet.
Right.
You'll get the full picture of how all this stuff works, and it's a good book. But what else about this? I saw a good tweet, a rare thing. Oh, and it says this page doesn't exist now. That's cool. What the fuck? What the fuck, X?
God damn it. That's a good website, though. I mean, honestly. And we definitely respect, we respect the owner of that website. I believe his name is
Iluma.
Well, hold on. When he finds that right link, we're going to be saying...
Ladies and gentlemen, wake the kids, phone the neighbors.
Because you're going to want to see what is on this website.
Wyatt Reed on Twitter. Wyatt Reed is a journalist for the Gray Zone. He wrote, yesterday Trump condemned Somalia as a, quote, dirty, disgusting, ridden with crime. The only thing they're good at is going after ships. There's another country much closer to home that matches the description pretty well, too.
It's pretty good.
Talking about America stealing a ship.
No, being dirty and disgusting.
That as well.
But I do have to ask now, the name of the person from whence this tweet, is that name? Is that person nerdy? It's Reed, man. Wyatt Reed. Wyatt no play football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I caught the last part of what you said. Sorry, it kind of broke up there. But yeah, Wyatt Reed, Wyatt play football.
Wyatt no play football. Wyatt Reed. This is when you have like a son, he's a nerd, and you wish that he was a jock, and you're like, Wyatt Reed. Wyatt no play football.
Okay, got
and then you say,
yeah. I don't know where some of these are coming from, but I like being
all over
surprised
the place,
by them. Institute of Peace. We're beyond that. What's next? Oh, also, I mean, just in the same vein, the same main vein as I was saying about like the pathetic Democrats and liberal media's reaction to all of this war on Venezuela. I saw a New York Times article that just the headline alone made me scoff. Oil tanker U.S. seized off Venezuela has faked its location before, data shows. And I did actually read the article to see if it was going to like have any hint of criticism of Trump doing this, and not a drip, not a drop.
okay.
But it just, like, the headline just made me think of them being like, well, the fucking ship was asking for it. It's faked its location.
Right.
So, therefore, we can steal things.
We're allowed to just take it, because it pretended like it was... Basically, why was it dressed like that if it didn't want us?
That's what I'm saying. That's
exactly. Like kind of where we're at, you know?
Yeah, the oil tanker was looking a little too slutty. Who can blame the Trump admin for seizing? Moving on. Trump gave us a speech for no reason. He just likes doing these rallies, I guess, still. That's what made me think of Biden too. It was like Biden didn't do any of this ever, not a single time in those 4 years that I can think of. Like a just for fun rally, you know?
Sure.
But he did this one in Pennsylvania, and the CNN headline here is Trump has, quote, fun in Pennsylvania, but fails to feel Americans' pain on prices. Which also brings up the phrase affordability is a Democrat hoax, which I've been laughing
just
about
rattles
a lot
around
to
inside
myself.
your skull nonstop, just constantly. There's nothing you can do to get it out of there until the day you die, basically. Yeah,
it's just such a dumb way of speaking.
Well, especially because it's like a week and a half ago at most, he was like, "We're doing affordability more. We're doing it now.
Right.
It's important and it's good, and we're doing it, and we love affordability. It's a new word, affordability, and you're seeing it more and more, and it's important." Yeah.
It's a good word, groceries.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I mean, it's the same with him saying like Jeffrey Epstein is a Democrat hoax. It's like, well, what about him? Like, you can't just say the man is a hoax or the concept of affordability is a hoax. Like, I'm taking more like the grammatical, conceptual angle, like critical angle on it, I guess. Because it's just like that's the part that gets me that's the part that's making me laugh more than the fact that it's like, oh, he's a hypocrite. He just said like affordability is important to him 2 seconds ago, which of course is also a thing. And then like when some journalists have been pointing out that he's like directly contradicting himself, like within like days apart, he just starts like berating them and insulting them. There's been a lot more of that, I think, than usual lately these days, it seems like. You're a very stupid person. You're just a stupid person, little piggy. You know.
It's low IQ. Yeah.
He's been doing it a lot.
He's
feels
been,
like even more than normal, even for him.
And it's primarily at women. It's always like female
Well, yeah,
reporters asking questions.
Yeah, because he's a coward.
Right.
And a rapist and all that stuff.
Sure.
I'm about to go full Jeff Tiedrick on his ass. He's a mother crunching, fuck waffling.
I believe you forgot to mention the fact that he's a Cheeto. The man is orange.
He's a mango waffle fuck. I can't even do Jeff Tiedrick. I don't know enough of his material, honestly.
Right.
I know of him as an idea.
I just know his avatar. This weird little avatar that looks like if Andy Dick had gotten a job as like a Simpsons writer in the 80s and just like, rode that out into like a respectable career, Instead of like going off the deep end with crack and stuff, he had just like settled down and had a family.
It makes sense, and that's a good that's like a deep pull. I like that. But
Yeah.
I'll never be able to unsee him as just Eric Clapton. I thought it was a picture of Eric Clapton for the longest time.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, his stupid speech. Yeah, there was a good. Do you want to play this clip?
What is this?
It says great isolated line from the speech.
Let me put this audio all the way up so you can really hear it. Because it was turned down.
For minors, do we love minors? I love minors. For minors.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, we love minors.
I love minors.
No one could ever be able to take such a thing out of context.
You don't want to take that clip out of context, folks.
And why would you? Why would you do that to someone like Trump who has clearly stated that Epstein is a hoax? The man himself is a hoax. He's never existed.
Nope. Never been there. He hasn't been to Little St. James Island and said of it that
A lot of alcohol. It was a blast.
he never said that.
Did you catch any of the latest drop? It like came out too recently for me to like include really as something to talk about because I didn't get a chance to look at all. It's like all the images. They dropped like 95,000 Epstein related pictures.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did you see any of them?
I didn't see any of them, and I'm happy that I didn't because I don't want to see that.
The one I saw like at least getting like, reproduced the most, retweeted and whatnot was Jeff and Steve Bannon taking a selfie together in front of a mirror to show off their fits.
Oh, I saw that picture, but I didn't know what it was in the context. And then
that's from
yeah, go on.
It's from this recent batch of
Gotcha.
thousands of pictures.
I saw that, and then I saw someone make an edit of it because they said that they took that picture in Adam's apartment, and then someone did an edit of it with like the mirror, the mirror, the Adam's apartment mirror.
No, maybe I don't know. I'm not sure.
Do you know what the Witten? If I say the Witten, do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, God damn it! All right. Well, I'm gonna send you this. It's not. I can't share the audio in the podcast because it's a picture. Yeah. But I would if I could, and I just want the listeners to know that I love you, and if I could share the audio of this picture with you, I would. But unfortunately, I just sent it in the Discord chat. But yeah, maybe you'll get the context when you see it. You'll like. It'll be
Okay. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. The Adam Friedland.
The mirror.
Okay, yes.
I can't like the reference for why that setup, that mirror picture, whatever thing is like a meme is because this girl fucked Adam and took the picture like where Jeff is there in that picture.
Yeah.
And she posted it. And then, but like later on, she was talking shit about Dasha Nekrasova from the Red Scare podcast. And Dasha like quote tweeted it with like the picture of her in front of that mirror and was like, whatever, something like, I know what you did or something. Basically just being like, I know that this is my ex-boyfriend's apartment that you're posting a picture inside of. Right. And then everyone like realized that like Adam. And the reason why she's the Witten is because like she's a wolf and a kitten mixed, and she's just like mentally unwell girl that Adam Friedland flew out from like middle America to have sex. This is like weird podcast drama that does not need to be talked about out loud, but that's like the background for the meme of this picture frame. Or like this this like mirror and everything.
It is a funny like confluence of
this is like 6-7 for millennials that don't own a home.
This is 6-7 for people who know who Adam Friedland and Dasha Necromancer are.
Yeah.
And also this person's name on Twitter couldn't be more perfect for a picture like this. Punchable, whack, white hipster bitch.
Yeah, it's perfect. But yeah, that's my only context for this recent drop of stuff because I saw that.
The other I saw a few pictures. Another one that stood out to me was Chomsky laughing with Steve Bannon, and it just reminded me of how. I don't think we talked about it when we talked about the Epstein stuff before, about like how Chomsky is like way more further implicated in all that stuff than he was before, and he was already like on the flight logs and so forth, and like really unapologetic about it, and really like almost like aggressive about people asking about it.
Pretty good.
But now there's just so much more, like you see all these emails between him and Jeffy, and but like a picture of him like being chummy with Steve Bannon, like oof.
Right.
come on, you're Noam Chomsky, man. Like, I feel like that picture alone just tarnishes his legacy as any sort of like figure of the left in a way. But maybe that's too extreme of me. I don't know. Whatever.
Nah. I mean,
either way, I'm not a personal fan of the man anymore. Now that I'm pretty convinced he's probably fucking children at some point, or if not doing that, genuinely liking a cretin like Jeffrey Epstein. Like what is this like intellectual, Titan legend doing with like the dumbass, like stupidest fake smart guy on earth? But anyway, and I remember what his excuse was like. Look, he flew me out to have dinner with Woody Allen. What's the big deal? It's like you're not helping your case, dude.
None of us have. Oh, so none of you have ever, hung out with your good friend Jeff Epstein to meet up with Woody Allen? Oh, I guess I'm the only one.
There was some more Woody Allen. There was some Woody Allen pictures of him like on the island and stuff. I don't know, whatever. Sue me.
No, her name is Sue Yi.
Yes.
No, that's not how it's pronounced. Anyways.
Yeah, I call him Gambler on the general topic of Trump not feeling Americans' pain on prices and the affordability hoax. We've got a few items here.
Wait, what is this then? Okay, sorry. What is this Gambler sound clip? If it's not related to whatever you're talking about.
It is related to what I'm talking about. I guess we should just play it right. Well, let me explain first.
All right.
Just a little bit here. So I found out about this, I think, relatively new service, new piece of fintech, as people call it. It's called Covered, and it's spelled in that annoying way that is like almost seems like passe at this point for like startups to do the spelling where they remove the vowels.
Right.
So it's like COVERD, not ED.
It was like MGMT. What's the other? I keep thinking of Death from Above, but they didn't do that. What's the Mastercraft? Is that a band? Yeah. It was that that time,
But it's usually like technology brother startups that do it
now. But my point is like it started out as like a cool electronic music thing, and then now
it seems like almost like a new metal thing, but I can't think of a single example.
No, that's why I have two of the things that I was talking about. You have none of the other. Like I said, it was like Mastercraft. I forget what the other one I said was, but MGMT.
I bet there's some Korn songs or something that spell words like that.
No. This was a like a 2000s thing. This was like this was hip and cool in the 2000s, and then now it's just like getting like run over by tech brothers.
I first and foremost think of it now these days as being something that was lambasted on the show Silicon Valley. So yeah, this company Covered, essentially this app is like encouraging people to bet on the debt that they already have. It's like, hey, you could have to pay that bill, or you could use your credit card to buy covered bucks and then bet them, and maybe you'll win big. And it's like literally just like a slot machine like style games or whatever. And like they get around all the gambling laws because you have to turn your cash into their currency, their fake currency, which to me is just like, well, isn't that just like buying chips at a fucking casino? What's the difference?
Right.
But I guess it is some loophole, at least digitally. And it's just like It just seems like another. I mean, I know we just talked about Kalshi last week, but this seems like within 1 week's time, like something that's even worse.
Right.
Like this is clearly targeting people that are like already in debt and like.
Well, those are your best
only
gamblers.
Well, right.
Those are your strongest soldiers.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
Yeah, they also want to create their own credit card, like a covered credit card that then they give people to do this. But it's basically like, I don't know why it's kind of hard to explain the mechanics of it for some reason. I'm trying to actually get my head around it here, looking at this. I mean, I guess it is pretty straightforward, but it's a level above just regular online gambling because it's pretending to be something else, even though it clearly is gambling.
I think the part that gets me is like the idea that you're betting. Like I put no effort into understanding it because just the concept of like you're betting on if you're gonna pay your bills or whatever is insane. Like,
yeah.
There's no, who was asking for this? That's the part that kind of like, I just can't even get beyond that to even begin to start to try to comprehend like what the mechanics of the system is. It's just like craven exploitation. Like that's just like, there's nothing beyond that, right?
I mean, your question is apt because the answer is no one. The answer is no one / the world historical force of capitalism is who asked for it. Like this is just vultures picking on like the last little fucking bits of meat off the bones. This is the most bottom feeding type of shit.
Are you desperately trying to make ends meet? Here's your answer: gambling.
Yeah, this is just another example, I guess. So yeah, I guess fuck covered. Don't give them your business.
Wait, hold on.
Maybe tell other people that it's bad, not so good.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, hold on for just one moment. Fuck covered. What are you, a Mormon?
Or what, Orthodox Jew with the hole in the sheet?
Yeah, exactly.
One of the funniest Upright Citizens Brigade sketches of all time, I'll go out and say.
Pretty good.
I'm fucking our computer through a hole in the sheet. It's okay.
You're eating pork? I thought we talked about this.
Yeah, I thought a lot about what you said. You're right. I have been lax in my faith lately. I've been letting my temptations take precedence over my religion. So I asked God for guidance, and He reminded me that I can do whatever I want as long as it's through the hole in the sheet.
God told you that?
Mm-hmm.
Simon, you don't smoke.
I know, but I've always wanted to. And now with God's hole in the sheet, I can do whatever I want. It's liberating.
So you can smoke through a hole in a sheet and not get cancer.
Isn't it great? I can watch television on the Sabbath through the hole. On Passover, I can eat leavened bread through the hole. Hell, I can celebrate Christmas through this hole.
Simon, you're Jewish.
Exactly. A Jew with a hole in a sheet.
I do want to just stake my claim on this one before anybody else gets to it. So just official, I'm signing an envelope. I'm writing my name inside of it. I'm putting it in and getting it postmarked today, December 12th, 2025. Call she by her name.
Is that going to be your handle next week?
It should be. It should be. But yeah, it's pretty good, right? So am I right? Am I right? That's pretty good. No one said that yet. That's the first time that those words have ever been put in that order. You
laid it down now, and you can switch from farming the homeless or whatever it was.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, so because of all of this gambling stuff I was looking at and things about just debt and price fixing, which I guess I'll explain a little bit more, it put me in the mind of one of my favorite little moments from The Simpsons, which we can listen to.
All right.
Why
Ready?
not? Just because.
Might as well.
Hello, Florida.
I'm not a state. I'm a monster.
No, Lisa. The only monster here is the gambling monster that has enslaved your mother. I call him Gamblor, and it's time to snatch your mother from his neon claws.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the monster Gamblor. That's all.
Right. Pretty good.
And
Pretty
that
good.
very good Golden Era Simpsons episode where Marge becomes addicted to slot machines. You know, we talk about all this like bad shit. It's all right to throw in like a nice thing, like a Simpsons episode now and then. The use of services like Klarna, which is kind of a new thing to me, I hadn't really heard of until kind of recently, which I guess is also called buy now, pay later, or that's just like the type of service that it is.
It's just layaway, layaway for the new generation. Buy now, pay later is what people like to call it or whatever, for sure.
You didn't have to put money down for layaway, though.
I guess you didn't have to link your bank account to layaway either.
I think layaway was just like a nice gesture of like, we'll keep this for you.
We won't sell this to someone else until you bring us the money, and we'll let you bring us a little bit of money every now and then. Yeah.
Yeah. This, on the other hand, is just
wanton capital exploitation. Would that be the way to describe it?
It's payday loans. It's all of a piece. It's all like the covered thing, Klarna, payday loans. They're all the same predatory shit, essentially. And why do I bring this up? These things have been around forever. Well, they're on the rise lately. Is the news part of it, I guess.
It's getting views that makes it news, folks.
And not just on the rise, but also being used in ways that hadn't been used before. Specifically, so there's like 41%, I don't know, whatever. I'm not even going to get to the numbers, but they are like more than double what they were last year for these kind of loans. And the other difference is there's a huge increase in using these loans for basic staple things like groceries.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, groceries.
Like
you
what
know
was
that word. You've heard me say groceries before.
What is that? That is.
It sort of says a bag with different things in it.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. That's now.
It's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term. Groceries.
There we go. Yeah.
Now I get it.
And I talked about the word groceries for a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No,
I forgot about that. That was the best one.
That is the best one.
So things aren't looking great. Although President of planet Earth, Donald Trump, will tell you we're having the greatest economy of all time, which
we're
I think
having
is
the
a
best
direct
groceries.
quote he said recently.
That makes sense.
You're a stupid person. You're a stupid person. We're having the best economy for groceries of all time. And there's this thing about price fixing that, all these links will be available to you, dear listeners, in the show notes. It's like an 18-minute video that goes into it, but it explains how they prove that like Instacart is doing clear like price fixing. So they got like 400 different people shopping for like the same exact things at the same time, and just like the variation in price was like significant enough to where they could call bullshit on Instacart. And Instacart initially denied that they were doing this, of course, but then like after this investigatory journalism, like they basically copped to it, but I guess that's not illegal yet or anymore. So it doesn't matter. And then on the subject of just economic absurdity and collapse, Trump announced $12 billion bailout for farmers who needed the bailout specifically because of Trump's insane tariffs policies. And the money that he got, that $12 billion, from the money collected from tariffs. So it's actually this beautiful cyclical thing.
Right, of course.
Or as I wrote here, much like so-called global warming, this is just the natural cycle of tariffs.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was a hoax.
It's also I would love Trump to say just tariff is a hoax.
Tariff is a hoax, folks.
Tariff is hoax, folks. But no, he would never say that because he loves tariffs. He loves the word. I remember him saying that multiple times even. I just love the word tariffs.
It's the most beautiful word. Yeah.
The Supreme Court, I mean, here's the foreboding headline. Trump warns of dark and sinister forces as Supreme Court decision looms. And essentially, Newsweek here tells us that, I mean, the Supreme Court is just currently reviewing whether or not Trump has the right to be just like unilaterally issuing these tariffs, which he doesn't. It's just like very plain as day. He's not supposed to be able to do this single-handedly. I mean, the way he tries to get around it is by saying it's a matter of national security, which is why in this quote of his about where he's basically threatening the Supreme Court here like a mob boss, he said, if the okay, whatever, I'll just read the fucking article. President Donald Trump warned that the Supreme Court ruling against him in a key case on his power to apply tariffs would be the, quote, biggest threat in history to United States national security.
Pretty good.
Bigger than 9/11, bigger than Pearl Harbor. 9/11, what went down with bigger even than that Tower 7 song that I'll never forget.
I was going to ask, did he mention if it would be badder than a junkyard dog? Did that come up?
He hasn't quite gotten into his Jim Croce phase yet.
Yeah.
He also said we would be financially defenseless because Trump seems to actually buy into his own hype and think that you just apply tariffs on people you don't like, and that's how you get leverage, and that's how you win. That's how you get the greatest economy that we've ever seen in the history of mankind.
I was trying to see if there's a Uncut Gems. This is how I win. Actually.
It's me. All right? I'm not a fucking athlete. This is my fucking way. This is how I win.
This is how I win. It should just be that part. There's too much other bullshit. Too many of these sound drops have other bullshit that I don't need. I hate it. And I want to kill myself. Anyways, continuing on.
It's when you got to download and edit and re-upload. Trump also said tariffs have greatly enhanced national security, but gave no follow-up or even feigned to give an example of how that worked, but whatever. And yeah, he said only dark and sinister forces would want to see that end. Him being able to fuck over pretty much only the United States is who's getting fucked over by these tariffs, if I'm not mistaken.
America is the country of shooting yourself in the dick. We've invented it. We perfected it, and now we're mass producing it to other countries.
Well, back when men were men, like Gary Cooper and whatnot, we were better at shooting other countries in the dick. But that was a short-lived golden era.
Well, and again, that was something that had been done before. America was like, no, nah. Let's invent our own version of this. We'll shoot ourselves in the dick. We do it so good that some of our biggest celebrities have done it. You know? What's that guy's name? Plaxico Burress? He's a basketball man who I would never know his name if it wasn't for the fact that he shot himself in the dick in a nightclub. Right?
I've never heard of this, but that's incredible, and that his name is what you just said is also adds a lot to it.
It's spelled like you would think, except for there's 2 R's in Burris. That's like the only... But otherwise, it's like exactly how you would predict. He shot himself in the dick.
Two X's?
One X.
I would think two.
It's like Mexico,
Maybe
but
three.
with plaques. It's like Mexico, but plaques, you know?
Okay.
So 1X, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
He shot himself in the dick in a nightclub. And then ever since, I guess that's like all he's known for. Anyways, continuing on.
I mean, I'm gonna have to find out how it ended. Like, did he keep his dick? Did he lose part of it?
They said, if you like your dick, you can keep it. Yeah. That's right.
And pussy too.
Yeah.
Trump also at this Pennsylvania, like, just for fun speech he did, said a lot of demented things, but here's just one. And this one jumped out to me more just because he was bringing back what are now already some of the classics. He started talking about pencils and dolls again.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. I remember this from Christmas a couple of years ago.
That was like less than a year ago. It feels so much longer ago than that. But anyway, he said, I was trying to think, like, what's the funniest way to like read Trump exact quotes, and I know it's not with my bad impersonation,
Right.
but I also don't think it's with my regular voice. I'm just throwing this out here as I'm spitballing, thinking, like, I think the best way would really be just to, like, put it into like a robot AI voice, because then you just get like the pure stupidity of the sentences.
Sure. Yeah.
But anyway, here's what he said. You can give up certain products. You can give up pencils. Because under the China policy, every child can get 37 pencils. They only need 1 or 2. They don't need that many. You always need steel. You don't need 37 dolls for your daughter. 2 or 3 is nice. So we're doing things right.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a paragraph of sentences
Right.
saying something. I mean, he's trying to say the thing about that he said before about dolls and pencils, about, okay, so maybe people have less money and people are suffering more now. But that's only because you're buying 37 pencils. You only need 1.
1, 2, maybe 2, maybe.
Maybe
Why do
2.
you- maybe 2. Right? When he the part where he says the China policy is very confusing to. I'm like, okay, so I know China has the like one child policy.
That's what
but
I
that's not
thought
even
about
real
too.
anymore. So I'm like, did Trump like combine the things where he's like, in China you're only allowed to have 1 kid, but that kid is allowed to have 37 pencils? Is that the child? Which doesn't exist anymore. China doesn't have a one-child policy anymore. We have to say that now out loud so people know.
This is why he's still kind of the master, because
Right.
he's really making us think here about what the fuck
Right.
he's saying.
Right.
But I thought the same thing, because like just the words "the China policy" made me think of the one-child policy, and because he's talking about children, whatever. But I think maybe another possible reading of it is he's admitting that China's doing better than us.
Right.
So he's like, well, in China, sure, they can get 37 pencils. But
Each
here,
kid-
it's so we realize that we don't need to be greedy like that. We can
Right.
be fine with 1 or
Maybe
2.
more meager. You know, we can live off the land in America. You know, you can mend your things. He's trying to do like the Chinese folklore, the thing where they're like, you know, have you heard this where they say like they invented like ancient Chinese remedies for ailments, and they like started like the government was like pushing the concept of like, you don't need to go to the doctor. You can solve a lot of your stuff with just shit you have at the house. Because they were doing so badly that they couldn't afford like, you know, medicine. That's like what Trump is trying to do. He's like, it's okay. We don't need all like I kind of think that Trump would be an amazing president to like slowly cradle the American psyche into the grave. Because that's really why, like, the American death drive is the reason why he got elected, because like the people of America just this we want like a comforting voice to like tell us that we're great as we slowly die. But they just did it a little bit too early is kind of the point, because I think that by the time Trump is not president anymore, which I mean, God forbid, hopefully.
Yeah, God forbid.
Hopefully that's never. Hopefully Trump continues to be president for the rest of existence, right? But unfortunately,
I at least hope he outlives me.
Yeah, yes, of course. But unfortunately, I think it's only going to be like a couple more months that he's going to be president or whatever, which is really unfair because, like, yeah, we needed him to be president as the country just like slowly asphyxiates in the cradle, like Trump needs to be like Trump needs to be like doing like whispering sweet nothings into the ear of like a baby an infant ridden with typhus as it like slowly passes out and dies. But that's not what we're getting. And I don't know if we're gonna find another Trump. There's just not a lot of people that are built. He's kind of built different in that way. But moving on, I guess. I was gonna say, Josh, I think we're getting close to the deadline. So
yeah. We're doing good on that front as well, because
right,
we're almost there. I'm gonna end with the next thing. So
wonderful.
So everything's going great economically. That was the point of this last chunk of things. But it could be even greater. And how would we get there? Kamala 2028, anybody? Because we haven't talked about her for so long, really, it feels like I keep doing I forget which one. Kamala or Kamala? Which one is the
Just
not
go with
racist
the first
one?
Go with the former. I think go with the former. Kamala.
I'll say Momala just to be safe.
Hey.
I'll say the lady who loves to listen to Tupac. She did some interview with the New York Times, which I just saw the bullet points for, but essentially it seemed like the whole purpose of it was to kind of drop hints at her wanting to run for president again, which is simultaneously so stupid and insane, but then also, of course, I guess, predictable. But no, even for cynical old me, when I hear the idea that when there's polls of Democrats and she's still in the top position or second now to Gavin Newsom, I think. Newscum, pardon me. It still kind of boggles my mind, because even on the even in the terms of being a straight down the middle, vote blue no matter who, I'd love being a Democrat type, how can they even want to get behind? I understood why they got behind her before. It was a last minute thing. They had to replace the ghost of Joe Biden with the cackle of Kamala.
That makes sense.
But I don't know. The idea of her running again is still just disgusting to me.
She couldn't even make it out of the primaries. She got fucking hosed in California, her own state, in the primaries, and had to fucking drop out of the primaries. She's criminally unelectable. There's no reason. It's she really is the whole, it's spoiler alert, it's the Stranger Things phenomenon where it's just this thing has been around and people talk about it, so you just have to pay attention to it. That's what Kamala is for politics. I don't think anybody has given a fuck about this shit for years. No one ever actually really liked it. And it's just there because we all know about it. Because, they say media reality is so fragmented that like there's no like big like ubiquitous stars, you know? It's like do you like Sneeko or do you like I Show Speed? Like what are you into? Right? You
Yeah.
know? But it's not like everybody isn't into or know about everything kind of. So it's just like Kamala just falls into this like she's got Q value. Everyone knows her name. It's like everyone knows her and dislikes her. She's not there's no possible way for her to win.
How dare this? How dare you, sir? This is K Hive erasure, and I will not stand for it. No, I think It's easy to just write off things you don't like as being mostly bots, but I would say, based purely on intuition, that the K Hive section of Twitter, well, is number one, very insignificant, but number two, probably mostly fake. But I don't know. But then again, like there are people of the liberal persuasion who unironically would stan fucking Ruth Bader Ginsburg and shit. Like those people do exist. I think there are. I mean, you're right overall. Like, yes, she does not have enough support or whatever. But I wonder though about this. So like one of the details I jotted down was that the Democratic Party paid her $7 million for her email list, which can't be that valuable. Can't possibly be that valuable.
Listen, there's how can you continue on without the email list of the person who couldn't beat Donald Trump for president
and who
for his second term.
And like you said, couldn't get out of the primaries the first time around.
How could anyone do anything moving forward without the fucking without the clearly the political powerhouse that is the motherfucker that like again lost to Donald Trump in the second term, where basically everybody knew how bad he was the first time, and was like,
yeah,
sorry, like I'd love to give you a shot, Big K, but I think we're gonna give Donnie another chance. We're gonna see, maybe this time it'll work. It's like, it's like a abuse. It's like a woman in a abuse center being like, yeah, well, you know what? He didn't kill me. He didn't kill me. Yeah. Anyways.
Got close, but I'm still alive. I'm a survivor.
Yeah, so he's not gonna. I'm gonna
Christ
go back.
Tells us to forgive.
Exactly.
So, but it makes me wonder if the 7 million is like, because the Democrats are so fucking stupid that I could see the 7 million being either a payoff for her to not run, or an encouragement for her to run.
Right.
And then I just wanted to say, remember that when she went to Dick Cheney's funeral, and I realized we never mentioned, and it's kind of like who cares, but
right,
we never mentioned the fact officially that Dick Cheney finally died. But yeah,
this is like this is the version of the thing, the meme where they're like, we used to have, what was it, hope, cash, and whatever jobs. Like Dick Cheney is like that's the one America used to have Dick, and now, Anyway.
Yeah. So, Kamala 2028. Let's go. Wonder who her running mate will be.
They're probably Mayo Pete.
Could it be that retard Tim Walz?
No, they're gonna do Kamala and Pete. That's the unelectable ticket. They're gonna call them the unelectables. Yeah.
There was so much shit about fucking Nick Fuentes on the timeline, we'll say, this week, and one of the videos I saw was him ranting like against Trump, and he was saying like. He's only going on a racist rant against Somalis and calling Tim Walz retarded because that's what we want to hear. He's manipulating us.
He's only being racist because that's what we want to hear. What did cross my mind as you started saying that was the idea that Kamala will have not gone on Joe Rogan because it would be bad for the image or whatever, but then when she runs again, will go on America First. And I I I want to like plant. This is like an actual plant the flag. I want to be the person who says Kamala Harris will go on America First with Nick Fuentes if she runs for president in 2028. That will happen.
Heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
I'll back this up as well. Maybe we'll throw some money down on it on Kalshi.
On Kalshi.
Covered is different.
Imagine how good that'll be. He'll be like, oh, you're like a Jamaican, so you're not one of that's one of the better blacks, and she'll just have to laugh. Yeah, Nick, you got it, man. I'm not, yeah, you're not like one of those Ethiopians, like one of the gross, scary ones. We hate those.
The only thing that they'll come to blows over, even, or argue about at least, will be Ye versus Tupac.
Yeah. That's one thing that people, like, we've mentioned her earlier, Dasha Nekrasova, or any of the fucking fans, like the Fuentes fans, people, like, he's such a good, he just has like a way of talking. He's just so... I don't love like everything that he says, but you can't argue with the fact that he's just like a talented communicator, right? All those people who say that, like what they really overlook is that like fucking, I don't know, 85-90% of his delivery is just like fucking bog standard millennial quirk chungus bullshit. Like that's a lot of his jokes and his fucking personality is like, again, the biggest meme now. Oh, Quirk Chungus. Isn't it the worst thing? Nick Fuentes is just like a male Quirk Chungus, and half of his jokes just fall into that fucking. But these dumbass millennials are actually turning into boomers and like falling for a like this. He's basically like Charlie Kirk. It's very funny that they beefed so much. It's like he's what an old person thinks a young person is. So they like him because they're like, this proves that I'm not out of touch. I know what young people like. And it's like young people don't like Nick Fuentes. It's just you old freaks that like Nick Fuentes and think he's so you have to respect. He's just such a good communicator.
Well, you know who really likes Nick Fuentes? There was apparently some evidence brought forth. I don't have any of it in front of me, but it's basically showing that like some huge percentage of his viewership comes from, let's say, non-white nations like India and Nigeria and a bunch of other places.
Right. It's all of the countries where all of the MAGA accounts on Twitter come from. Yeah. Because all they're doing is watching Nick Fuentes stuff to then like serve it back to stupid Americans to get clicks and money off of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I saw like a couple clips of him sparring with pierced organ. It was so fucking stupid. I couldn't take like more than a couple minutes, I think, but
right.
But then it was people who were like, "Ooh, watch how Pierce Morgan just eviscerates Fuentes' hypocritical arguments about Nazis or whatever." It's like,
right.
So what? This is nothing. This all amounts to nothing. This is
negative
piece of video that might as well not exist. It's like the two personalities cancel each other out, and then there's just nothing. You're watching nothing. Speaking of watching nothing, let's wind up the show, and I will recommend one thing. Oh, my eyes just crossed. I can't see anything. I will recommend an article that I read called 2 Days Talking to People Looking for Jobs at ICE, which was published by N+1 Mag, which is like a very hip literary outfit. Yeah. And the name occurred to me this time around today as being the such an alley-oop for a Nick Mullen slam dunk of a series of jokes, where he implies the use of the world's most forbidden slur, N+1. But it's a very good article. It's about this person goes to essentially a career, like a job fair held by the Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, a career expo, and it's kind of just like that good old first person journalism, experiential type of writing. It's not very, super conventional, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's got some style to it, but it's also got very good politics opposing ICE and all that they've been doing, especially in the last year, I guess. And it shows kind of an interesting microcosm of the entire country of the United States, I would say. And it's written by someone who uses the nom de plume of Giannis Varfuckis.
Nice. I like that.
Which is nice. It's like a so bad it's funny pun, and it's referencing Giannis Varoufakis, who is incredibly based Greek economist and general public intellectual. Probably one of the few people left these days that I would call something like that without feeling embarrassed. It actually, I literally looked it up to make sure it wasn't him changing his own name to be Varoufakis. But I don't believe it is. I think it's someone else just using a pseudonym. But
well, we love to see this.
Very good.
Because I searched it, and this is what I got from the AI overview. There is no evidence or information in the provided search results to suggest a link or association between Giannis Varoufakis and Jeffrey Epstein. So hey, like you said, he's one of the last good ones, and even fucking Apollo or Grok AI or whatever agrees.
I would be devastated to find out that Giannis Varoufakis was Epstein adjacent. That would hurt. You got something?
One thing I think that slipped through the cracks, maybe it came out / happened right before we started recording again, but I'm not sure if we referenced it or not. It could be iffy. Was the Chair Company? Did you watch it?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard good things, and we have not talked about it on the show yet.
Okay, if you haven't seen it, then we haven't talked about it because blah blah blah. But it was good. That was good. I would recommend checking it out. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Tim Robinson is sick. Obviously, everyone knows that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend people check that out. Because you haven't seen it, we're not going to talk about it or do a bunch of spoilers, but you should definitely watch it. I've referenced it earlier slightly. I want to give a, wag of the finger. Stranger Things. New season's coming out. Watch a couple episodes. Again, I mentioned it when I was talking about it. It feels like a cultural monolith that everyone just watches because they feel like they're supposed to. I don't want to be watching it. My wife is basically kind of making me. It sucks. It's not good. There's nothing to it. It's just the same pastiche over and over again. Don't feel like you have to watch it just to be part of something that people are paying attention to. This is not me. Historically, I'm very good about being I don't care. I don't watch a thing just because I feel like I'm supposed to. Like I said, I'm unfortunately being forced into it. This is definitely who cares? Just let it go. It sucks. It's not good. It was never good. Even from the beginning. The whole concept of it was only attracting you to this pastiche thing that's not necessarily its own thing. It doesn't stand on its own 2 feet. The only way that it's worth paying attention to is because of it being a reference to something that you liked when you were a kid or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was distilling Spielbergian wonder, the Amblin effect, and then just shooting you up with it. That's the way I felt about it. I I stopped watching it probably after the second or third one. I don't even know what they're on now.
Right.
I think the way I got suckered into it was, but again, this is still just nostalgia. I've had a crush on Winona Ryder since I was a child.
Sure.
So I was like, oh, she's in it. I like that. And it's reminding me of like going to the Vidya arcade as a kid or whatever. But yeah, I'm in agreement with your anti-recommendation there.
And it's an actual recommendation to, again, the idea of like something that I've, been like committed to my entire life, which is that like you don't need to care about / watch the thing that everybody else watches. Like it at the end of the day, it
I
doesn't
think
fucking
it's
matter.
also an illusion that everybody's watching it, especially now. Like
Right.
I don't get the sense that everybody's like, I got that sense when it first started, but now I don't get that feeling at all. I mean, it is like the hugely promoted, like on the home screen of Netflix or whatever, but that's like to be expected. But anyway, let's say the stuff we say at the end, the very end, like we have a Discord server that is linked in the show description. You can check that out. We have show notes with links to the things that we talked about. That is also in the show description. A link to the very Google document we've been looking at. It's like a piece of memorabilia you can access whenever you want. That's pretty much it. If you feel like giving us a good rating or review or subscribing to something of ours, that's also nice. Send us an email, send us your thoughts. And I just realized I was supposed to do something and I didn't do it, and I'm going to do it right now. I've got time. I can do this. Speaking of fans contacting us, probably I would say one of the longest fans and most loyal or whatever of this show, Britain. We all know Britain, don't we, folks, in the Discord?
We love him.
He lives in Busan, South Korea. I've met him once, actually. He's a very nice guy. And he asked me to shout out a place in Busan, South Korea called Dengue Fever, which is an interesting name for a place that, from the looks of it, is a lounge bar. It's not like a loud dance club. I don't know if this is a joke. Hang on. This is their Instagram description, their official Instagram page, which I'm also supposed to recommend, and I do recommend that you subscribe, follow, is Dengue Fever 15 on Instagram. It looks like they have DJ events and whatever just thing I was reading about it, not there being like no dancing allowed, must have been some kind of sarcastic thing.
Right.
But yeah, looks like a cool place if you ask me. And if you happen to be in the second largest city in the Republic of Korea, Busan, beautiful city, seaside city. The air is fresher down there than it is up here in Seoul. Go check it out. And with that,
I like the name of that city because it reminds me of the way that I fuck with my boots on. You know, the Tims stay on. You know, I got to get that grip while I'm putting it down.
There's a phrase, dying with my boots on. You've just given it a little twist. Fucking with my boots on.
Yep. Yeah. So I do like that. I do like that Busan sounds like boots on, which is the way that I have sex. Continuing on.
Continuing on to say that, as the great 19th century philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer always says,
This town needs an enema.
good night, good luck, and good morning, Busan.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody rolls with their fingers crossed. Everybody knows the war is over. Everybody knows the good guys lost. Everybody knows the fight was fixed. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that the boat is leaking. Everybody knows the captain lied. Everybody got this broken feeling, like their father or their dog just died. Everybody talking to their pockets. Everybody wants a box of chocolates and a long stem rose. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that you love me, baby. Everybody knows that you really do. Everybody knows that you've been faithful, give or take a night or two. Everybody knows you've been discreet, but there were so many people you just had to meet without your clothes. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. And everybody knows that it's now or never. Everybody knows that it's me or you. And everybody knows that you live forever. Or when you're done a line or two. Everybody knows the deal is rotten. Old Black Joe still picking cotton for your ribbons and bows. And everybody knows. And everybody knows that the plague is coming. Everybody knows that it's moving fast. Everybody knows that the naked man and woman are just a shining artifact of the past. Everybody knows the scene is dead, but there's gonna be a meter on your bed that will disclose what everybody knows. And everybody knows that you're in trouble. Everybody knows what you've been through. From the bloody cross on top of Calvary to the beach in Malibu. Everybody knows it's coming apart. Take one last look at this sacred heart before it blows. And everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes. Oh, everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's how it goes.
The first voice recording was made in 1860.
It was a 10-second fragment of the French folk song Au clair de la lune recorded by inventor Edward Leon Scott de Martinville. But who will make the final voice recording and when? What will it be? Who will hear it?